Oh, guys, good, you're here. I am so excited. Guess what? I hope this isn't about your podcast again. Why, did you finally listen to it?
Before we start this podcast, let me invite you to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, YouTube, or any podcaster. I'm such a cute.
"'Twas the Night Before Christmas" by Craig Lee. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care and hopes that Saint Nicholas will soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama and her cushion, and I and my cat had just settled already for a long winter's nap. When out on a little rose, "That's a clamor," I exclaimed from my bed to see what's the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open a shutter, and threw open the sash. The moon on the breast, on the new fallen snow, gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes stood a pier, but a miniature sleigh, and 8 tiny reindeers, with a little old driver, so lively and quick. I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick, more rapid than eagles. His coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted, and called them by names. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, that's away all. I dragged leaves that before the wild hurricanes fly, when the neat little Oscar out to the sky, though up to the high, up to the courses they flew, with the sleigh for his toys, and Saint Nicholas too. When then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and were turning around down the chimney, Saint Nicholas came with a bound. He was just all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how raining, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn like a bow, and a beard on his chin as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled in his head like a wax. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a ripe, jelly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like a down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Dun 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 dun. Hello, Pups and Kittens, and welcome to the Christmas edition of the Groomer Next Door. This is episode 158, Procrastinating Gift Shopping for Our Pets. I'm your co-host, Chris Green. Sitting next to me, as always, is the little elf, Sarah.
Hello.
And the littlest of elves and youngest podcaster, Claire.
Hello.
Well, as I mentioned, this is going to go out on Christmas Day. So, Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
And we hope
Happy holidays.
And happy holidays. Exactly where I was going to go. Thank you. that's where I was going to go, too. So that's funny. Well, let's just jump right into what's going on. Let's go into our fact of the week. 30% of all Dalmatians are deaf in one or both ears. Because bulldogs have extremely short muzzles, many spend their lives fighting suffocation. Because Chihuahuas have such small skulls, the flow of spinal fluid can be restricted, causing hydrocephalus, a swelling of the brain. I'm not a vet, so I would actually probably be better off saying, "Hey, Dr. Bone, what's the proper pronunciation of that?" But swelling of the brain. Weird, huh?
That is?
I was like, wow, that's a lot of facts all in one time. But you know what? Worth it. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and
Joyous Kwanzaa.
Joyous Kwanzaa, exactly.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, and whatever or Happy Festivus. Yeah, of course you had to be a Seinfeld fan to get that joke. Sarah's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Oh, Festivus. Man, I loved it. Or Chrismukkah.
Chrismukkah.
You remember Chrismukkah?
Yes, I remember Chrismukkah.
And again, like always, we always throw references to movies, TV out there. Chrismukkah was from a TV show called The O.C. So if you don't know it, it's a good thing to pull off Hulu. Great show. So sad it was over. All right, let's go right into our weekly roundup.
The weekly roundup, yeehaw.
All right, this week on the weekly roundup, well, we have we've kind of come to a conclusions on Bagheera. We've talked to a couple people who are well known with cats who have suffered limb injuries, and so we kind of have, I guess you'd say, come to a conclusions. Is that a good way?
Well, we're still thinking about it, but the group opinion is that Bagheera should just go in for surgery and have his leg removed.
Right.
There has been very little to no improvement on his leg. He can lift it up, but his shoulder blade isn't where it's supposed to be. He still holds his leg all funky. He's trying to jump and learn his new boundaries, but the problem is that the leg's getting in the way and causing him to fall. And I have a fear that this wounded leg is going to cause him to have more injuries.
Right, and the hard part is, as it had been said, the longer we keep going this direction, the longer we're going to cause him more problems because he's getting used to having this flat tire. Yeah. And unfortunately, by learning to live with it, and all of a sudden he's going to have to live with the fact of it's being gone. It's a hard decision.
It really is, because you're sitting there thinking, okay, we can make him go through 6 months of maybe it'll heal.
Hope it will heal, yeah.
And doing everything you can to make it heal, and the doctor said all you can do is just move it around so it doesn't get stiff.
In case it does ever come back.
Exactly,
right?
And make sure that he's not dragging his foot, causing irritation to his skin and causing an infection in that area. But do we just let him cope with it right now in hopes in 6 months it's going to heal itself? Or do we just remove the appendage now and let him get to healing and get to rehabilitating himself now?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those gosh, you would hate to actually take, this leg arm away from him. But then at the same time, you're going, what's best for him?
Right.
So it's
and when
a challenge.
There's no actual guaranteed, yes, in 6 months his leg will be just fine. No, and nothing's really happening. He still doesn't feel anything. You can pinch his foot. You can tickle his paw pad. He does not flinch.
Right. And when
you do that to these other ones, oh boy, he jumps up quickly.
yeah.
And he bites.
Yeah. Well, he's starting to get a little bit more territorial though, as well with that area. He doesn't want you touching it.
I think he's got a sore belly.
Yeah.
With all those pellets there in his belly.
Yeah, he's definitely he's a work in progress. He's one of our more challenging in different areas that we have yet to actually come up with. and to think how many we've had this year alone. Mm-hmm. And yet he's got a couple of challenges that we've yet to face. So I'm sure if we ever listened back to any of these in, a couple of years from now, we'll be like, oh, that was nothing. We had one that was even worse than that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, I'm wearing a Christmas sweater with cats on it. Who would have ever thought that we would have saved this many last year when I had this on?
And that cat on your shirt has a red nose, like Rudolph. Ugly Christmas sweater, indeed.
Yep. Hey, I'm going to stay right in the tradition of what the podcast should be. So yeah, that's where we are right now. It's a question mark. It's a very large question mark that we're hoping that we get right.
Yes.
I mean, we see him jump up on counters, and he can't seem to get there because he uses that extra appendage that doesn't work, and he ends up falling. And you just can't tell him, hey, you can't do that because there's no process. It's a 3-year-old. You tell a 3-year-old don't do that, and they're going to do it 5 minutes later. So
yep. Yeah,
that's that. So that's what's been going on over here, and everything is kind of crazy, and we're really hoping to ring in the new year with more changes and more helping. All right. Well, to keep into the fun-filled episode, we're going to actually skip our normal GND news this week, and we're going to just have fun games and, entertaining humor for all of you. So, with that said, we're going to actually go into our very first time to actually go into this new segment called PUP COURT. PUP COURT is, it's laws that are around the U.S. that are just ridiculous. And the judge, who is Sarah, is going to actually try to weigh in on it, whether she thinks it's a good law or a stupid law. So with that, let's try playing PUP COURT for the first time.
You're now entering PUP COURT.
Your Honor, I object! Sustained.
No, the witness can't object.
Overruled. I found guilty.
Speculation.
Hearsay.
Bailiff.
Briefcase.
Disregard.
In my chamber.
Stop being on the witness.
Arrest.
We could totally be lawyers.
All right, court is now in session. The Honorable Podcast Sarah has now entered the stand. Let's see what you think of these ridiculous laws. So the first one, which I thought this was hysterical. Case number 1. When in Alaska, do not ever shove a live moose out of an airplane mid-flight. Yes, that's a real law. Good law or bad law?
I would say that's a note law.
A what?
A note law.
A note law?
A note law.
It sounds like a bulldog type of law. Take dog off and put something else in place of dog. Shih Tzu. A bull Shih Tzu. There you go.
So you had to explain that one a little
I
more.
know.
Yeah, that should be like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I actually think that law is standard in all other, 49 other states as well. I liked how it said in mid-flight, so I don't know if you could do it when in takeoff or in landing. I just think that's just a no-brainer.
I mean, yeah,
Is it ridiculous or what?
Oh, gosh.
All right. So, throw that law out. All right. The next one. It says, I don't understand why it says, and you can shoot a bear, but not wake him. So I'm going to move that one around. Move that one away. So the second one is in a town of, I'm guessing, Juneau, Arkansas. Keep your flamingo out of barbershops. Yeah. You heard it.
That's crazy.
Another crazy law.
I'm sorry. When I go to a barbershop, I'm bringing my damn flamingo.
Right! I want my flamingo right next to me. I'm with you on that one. So again, another law I just don't like. In Belvedere, California, dogs are not allowed in public places without their masters on leashes. They may want to rethink the wording on this. So
Without their masters on leashes.
yeah, I think that the dogs
should be the ones on the leash.
yeah, apparently in Belvedere, California, the dogs have to have their masters on a leash. Yeah. Let me just say this. We're not lawmakers, but that's definitely a law that needs to get amended and fix that a little bit.
Just a little.
All right,
Just a little bit.
couple more
bit.
on the docket, and then we'll move on with our whole lives. Apparently, dogs in Colorado can read because the dog catcher, which I always find it funny that they use the word dog catcher instead of animal control. It's like remember back in the day that we used to call a flight attendant a stewardess. Now they're no longer a stewardess; they're a flight attendant. But so I always get a little kind of like, really, seriously, folks, dog
I wonder
catcher.
how many times your uncle was called stewardess.
Still called stewardess. His wife calls him stewardess. Stewardess, oh stewardess, please get me my food.
My coffee is cold.
My coffee. I wonder if he actually walks over to his wife and goes, coffee, tea, or Sanka. I don't know. That'd just be funny to ask. It's good that he doesn't listen to this.
Inflate nut.
Oh, gosh. Wow. Moving on. Apparently, dogs in Colorado can read because the animal control agent must notify them of potential impounding by posting a notice on a tree for 3 days prior. So apparently in Colorado, the wording is that the dog needs to be notified instead of the actual owner. So apparently they actually pick up a dog that has no tags, and then they have to put a sign on a tree. What a lot of work. Have they not heard of the internet? Odd, right? And lastly, in Hartford, Connecticut, dogs are not so fortunate because it is illegal to educate them.
It's illegal to educate your dog?
It's illegal to educate them.
So you can't train them?
Apparently not. Or teach them the alphabet, which I'm sorry, but every one of my dogs have to know A to Z.
Oh yeah, they bark in perfect sync.
They do. Well, that concludes our very first edition of Pup Court.
I'll allow objection, Your Honor, on grounds that this is redundant. Overruled.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. What do you do? What do you do?
Alright, this week on Pup Quiz, our contestant has written down her guess of answers, and I will give you guys all at home the actual topic, and if you want, put pause, come up with the idea of what you think is your top 5, and see if you get close. Maybe you actually beat Sarah. The topic for this week's Pup Quiz is the best dogs for kids, voted by you on Ranker.com. And you, meaning anybody who actually goes to Ranker.com and votes. Now, as we all have noticed, Sarah disagrees with most of the votes.
Yes.
And
one of the kittens is definitely causing a ruckus over there.
right, saw something right around the table and was like, I gotta play with this. All right, so are you ready?
Yes.
All right, folks, play at home.
Okay, number 1.
Yes,
A pug.
a pug. All right, was it in the top 5? As we go down the list, number 13 on the list. 13. So off the map. So 0 for 1. 0 for 1.
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell. Jack Russell Terrier. Not in your top 5. Let's see. Wow. We're not getting too close. We are off the map. We are actually way off the map.
Whatever.
We are way off the map.
Okay.
Not even in the top 40, which is weird because I think a Jack Russell is great for kids. Let me look at this. Hold on, folks. Come on. This doesn't make sense. This actually doesn't even make sense to me. I'm even going, what? All right, well, that's not on the top list. Sorry. You're now 0 for 2.
Mastiff.
A Mastiff.
Yeah, they're protective.
And
they're
big.
loving.
All right, Mastiff is not in the top 5. Let's see. Wow. Wow. Mastiff's not anywhere on the map either.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Labrador Retriever.
Over 3! Labrador Retriever, ding, ding, ding. You are number 2 on the list.
my gosh.
That is number 2. Good for you.
Golden Retriever.
I think you're starting to look at the answers. That is number 1 on the list.
Well, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go with Bernese Mountain Dog.
Oh, not in the top 5.
Oh, whatever. I'm done. I'm over it. Done. Nope.
Bernese.
Nobody. Nope.
Hold on. I think it's off the. I think you're off the map by a lot. Well, you're off the map by a lot.
Whatever.
All right.
I just know
was that all 5?
That was it.
That was it? Okay. Well, let me give you the list given to me by the good folks of Ranker.com. Number 1 is the Golden Retriever. As you got. That was good for you. Number 2, the Labrador Retriever. Number 3, the Beagle. Wait for it. No, nothing. Number 4, I agree with this. I was surprised.
Beagles are aggressive sometimes.
I knew that she was going to argue this one. Number 4, now I agree with this. I would have put it number 1 or 2, the German Shepherd. I love that idea. I'm with that, but I think it was definitely too high. I don't think number 4 is right for that. Number 5, mixed breed or mutt. That, you know what, honestly?
That's just saying all, $1,000 dogs.
Yeah, real 10,000, whatever. I thought that was pretty bad. The next one, number 6, is a collie. Number 7, a boxer. Number 8,
Boxers are so crazy hyper.
well, kid. Kids are hyper too. I mean, look at ours. Ours would do great with a boxer.
Jump.
Yep. Number 8, a Newfoundland.
Okay.
Number 9, Saint Bernard. Number 10, and here, wait for it, folks. She's going to actually have an aneurysm. A Bichon Frise.
Oh my gosh!
There it is.
No, it's like saying poodle or chihuahua.
Chihuahua. A chihuahua. No.
No, but don't get me wrong. Bichons are great family dogs if they're raised properly.
I'm wondering if they're actually saying, from puppy. But
any dog's good for children.
Right. Number 11, Border Collie. Number 12, a Great Pyrenees. Number 13, which you did get this, a Pug. Number 14, Irish Setter. Now, I'm sorry, this is way too far down the list. Number 15 is a Bulldog. Number 16, a Basset Hound. I'm just thinking of Marilyn right now. And Bam.
And Hank.
Number 17, a Boston Terrier. Number 18, Siberian Husky. Number 19, Australian Shepherd. And number 20, Poodle. I will have to mention number 21, because 21 was as bad as number 5. Puppy. Puppy.
What kind of puppy?
Puppy.
Just a puppy.
Just a puppy.
So the other ones are adults, and this one's just a puppy.
Yeah, puppy mixed breed probably would be the best way. See,
Puppies are so cute.
Puppies are cute, but you're not actually talking about a breed. I don't know what the Shih Tzu you guys are thinking over Ranker.com, but this is just not working for me either. But at least it was fun. So I hope you guys all played along with us, laughed a little bit with us, and thank you, contestant, for playing Pup Quiz.
And now our feature presentation.
Alright, main topic, which as we had mentioned was going to be procrastination for giving your gift for your pets. Now, of course, it's really difficult sometimes to come up with something for the pet that has everything. I think about that for our dogs and cats. They do get way more than a lot. Even our fosters get a great deal. But we're sitting back and we're thinking, you know what? A lot of people are thinking, oh man, I didn't buy a gift for my dog. I didn't buy a gift for my cat. Whoa, I got to come up with something. I mean, we got one for our boss. We bought gifts for, mailman.
And sometimes the prepackaged stocking at Walmart is just not enough.
And honestly, kind of almost generic. I've never been a big fan of generic gifts, but that's just me. All right, so let's go into the first one. Now, a couple of them I did take from the podcast because we've had them on the podcast, so I actually thought, you know what? I'm going to actually mention them first. The first one, and probably one of my... No, I'm not going to say it. It is my number one gift for pets this year. It's from Greener Pup. It is the greatest dog beds or even cat beds you will ever buy. Greener Pup was conceived by the very own Carrie Whitman. She was just on the podcast a few weeks ago. The design to the stars. She is the designer of the stars. Homes, pet beds. I mean, this woman designs everything for them. So if you're wanting to actually buy your dog something that celebrity dogs have, here's a good idea. But you want to say?
It's really good quality bed too.
Top quality.
The lining is amazing. The stuffing is just fantastic. It takes over 100 100 bottles out of the landfill to make one bed.
And that's per square size. So the bigger the beds, the more bottles that they could take.
Yes. I think the minimum was 100.
Yeah.
But shredded up, it makes a really soft and fluffy bed. Katana's getting older. She normally doesn't like sleeping on anything. She normally prefers the ground or the couch. She won't sleep on anything else. Well, she sleeps on this.
Yes, she does.
And I noticed too, by her sleeping on it, when she gets up, she doesn't crack as much.
She doesn't. Yeah.
She gets up.
And she's on that all night long.
Yes.
From the moment we go to bed to the moment we get up.
And it keeps her warm.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't realize when your dog sleeps on the ground, heat rises. So what you are in bed is warmer than what your dog is on the floor.
Right. And our bed's too high for our dog to get into.
Right.
Especially with hips.
Yes.
Hip problems, yeah.
So it has just been amazing. Katana goes right to it. And she, like I said, she's not a bed person. Or bed dog. And she took right to it. And then the cat. We have the bed in the cat room. And we let the cats come out during the day. We open the cat room door, and they go running right for that bed.
Yep.
And they jump right on it, and good luck getting them off.
Yeah, that is our rescue, in our rescue area. That's where they're at, and I'm pretty, we all know, if you've been listening to us long enough, you're going to know that they're not going to be the first occupants of this bed, or the last. But yeah, they do enjoy it. You open up that room, even if you just walk in there, they run in there and they jump onto it.
And Toil has his own little spot.
Yep.
Where he jumps to, so nobody else gets his one little spot. So these beds are very highly recommended by our pets.
Carrie's designs with paws in mind for her celebrity clients such as Jessica Alba, Kristen Bell, and Virginia Madsen, just to say a few, led to the creation of her line of custom dog beds. Affordable, attractive, and eco-friendly, Greener Pup beds are the perfect way to pamper your pooch and help save the environment. And we definitely agree with this. I mean, as two who have them, they are amazing. We would only recommend things that we believe in. As probably everybody knows by now, we don't just mention anything if we don't believe in it. So Greener Pup, definitely take a look at their stuff. So worth it. The next one on my list is from episode 140. We talked to the actual creator of Litter Robot. A lot of people, were really interested. They're very interested in Litter Robot. It is a highly trending product that is continuing to climb. It is an automatic self-cleaning litter box for cats. The Litter Robot is an automatic self-cleaning litter box. Its patented sifting system automatically separates waste from clean litter, so you never have to scoop litter again. Self-cleans and after each use, helps remove litter and the litter box odor, and great for cats of all sizes. And go back to that episode, you can actually listen to the actual inventor of the actual product itself. He really does detail it in full specifics on how it works and how it works for your pet. I'm still always shocked to think of how that product is continuing to rise. it has really gotten my attention. Like, wow. And it seemed like just yesterday we had him on the podcast. Anything on that you want to say?
No.
The next one comes from episode 129, when we actually had the OB Dog Bowl. A lot of people were really interested in that product because of the tech availability to it. Wouldn't it be nice to have fewer things to remember and worry about? Which, that was kind of what our thought process was. We're busy. A lot of people are busy. And, it was kind of like, here's a tech bowl. So, what?
You said 15
Did
times.
I really? I'm sorry. I always hate when people say, so. I'm sorry. Well, thank you for calling me out on that. I really will. I will think about that.
I really appreciated the OB Dog Bowl, all the stuff that it could do, and its
applications are endless.
Small thing. It's not like a computer.
No, I know, right?
But this one thing could tell you so much about the dog food that you're feeding, if they're eating enough, if they're drinking enough. Those two things, if your dog's not drinking or eating enough, can trigger so many red flags to get them to the vet. And this will help immensely.
Yeah, and it gives you the opportunity. One thing that really caught my attention with it is that they make a point to give you the exact amount of scoops, so you don't overfeed or underfeed your dog.
Yeah.
That was a cool notion. I really like that. And the other part that I really enjoyed, now, we actually do have a tendency to do this, just like everybody else, is we forget that, we're getting down to the bottom of our actual, because we don't have the dog bag. We have them in a nice, what do you call that container?
The stuff that you use for cereals? You pour the cereal in and it's sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bigger.
And it has wheels on it. It's really a cool thing. So you have it in there.
Yeah, it's just a really nice container that locks, seals in the freshness.
Yeah,
so
there you go. That's the words I was looking for. So, you don't really think about it. Oh, gosh, I'm getting to the bottom. Sometimes we're like, oh, crap, we're getting to the bottom. Luckily, we work someplace that we can pick it up, or, there's always those big box stores, that you can just run to.
But sometimes you're living out in the country, a 30-mile track into town is a little much.
Right. So, one thing I liked about Obi is that it keeps track of what you have, and you're able to, the whole application does it for you. So, I like that.
And the whole overfeeding is, people think that in their life, they have to eat 3 meals. And their 3 meals typically, Americans love to overeat, so it's just a whole bunch of meals.
You sound like the Japanese when they saw our Godzilla movie. Godzilla's too big, it's too fat. I loved it. I love that still.
So people think, okay, well, I eat 3 meals a day. How is my dog only going to be able to eat 2 cups of kibble and be fine for 24 hours?
Right.
They can.
Right.
Their calorie intake is so much higher. And the protein is so much higher. And the proper food will stay with them when they need it.
And when you're feeding proper diet.
And the proper amount, your dog's going to be fine.
Exactly.
If your dog loses weight, it probably is okay. It's probably a good thing. Now, if you start seeing bones, then you need to up the calorie intake, because some dogs are very hyperactive and they need a good dog food like Evo that has high concentration of protein.
Right.
But really, people need to, from a grooming next standpoint.
From an animal loving and seeing.
From a groomer, just as being a groomer, I appreciate.
You're no longer a groomer. You are a rescuer. You're a foster.
I appreciate a proper weighing dog. When they're super chubby and they have to lay down because they can't stand, there's something wrong.
I'm gonna actually go with you.
It's like we have a 5-year-old Bashan that comes in, not a single problem with anything. Shouldn't have any problems whatsoever, but it is so chubby that it won't stand for more than just a few seconds. So I have to roll it over each side. Literally, I roll them to one side and then roll them to another. I speak to the people about it and they get all offended. And then this is horrible, telling somebody that their dog needs to lose weight when I know I need to lose some weight is like the pot calling the kettle black.
And if I said it, they're going to say, well, maybe you should gain weight.
Right? Because you're so tiny. They get offended, so then I tell them, okay, well, maybe there's something wrong with the hips, and they take the dog to the vet, and the vet tells them, no, there's nothing wrong with the hips, it just needs to lose weight. And then I made them mad, they won't come back to me because they got mad at me for telling them their dog was fat. And the vet just said it was fat.
That's hysterical.
Side note.
Rant! So, the next one. Now, the next set of list of items, we've actually not had on the podcast. But, disclaimer, I actually will probably throw it out there at some point to invite them to come on the podcast because I like their products. And I saw these different items. I'm like, you know what?
Did you clear this with me first?
I don't clear any of the podcast with you. Yeah. How many guests do we have lined up that are scheduled to come on? And you're like, okay, I'll enjoy listening later. All right, the next one. I really do enjoy this product. I've seen it around. It's called Furbo. It's when you're not home. Now you can watch your dog and feed them treats. Furbo makes it easy to interact with your pet and reward them while you're away. It's a little device that has a camera. You can look at it through an app, and you can shoot a little treat to your dog through a little thing. And, you're like, I like that. I've seen a few products like that out there. I think that, it's kind of that interactive pet product that has now become the new norm. I like that. So I like the Furbo. I was actually kind of like, ooh, I want to talk to them. And then the next one is called the iFetch 2. T-O-O, not T-W-O. The iFetch 2. If your dog loves to catch balls, no, you know what? I can tell that there are some snickering people out there when I said this. So I'll just give you guys a moment. If your dog loves to catch balls, then the iFetch 2 is a great gift for your holidays. It's a way to help them stay active both indoors and outdoors and makes playtime a breeze. Now, personally, this is great because, a lot of people don't want to pick up that slobbery ball, and this can go right into it and shoots it out like a tennis ball. Or tennis, those tennis ball machines that I never played tennis, so I don't know what they actually called them. I imagine they're ball shooters. I don't know what they're called, but they would shoot the ball and you would hit it back when you're practicing tennis. That's kind of what this device is. Sarah's got this childish grin on her face right now as I'm explaining this.
It's called a pitch machine, but
it might. Well, that's baseball.
No.
Now, here's a product that I guarantee I will be contacting because this is something I really love. And something that I have a device, Sarah has a device, and so we're very conscientious. And it's called FitBark Activity Monitor. Now, you probably are thinking FitBark, Fitbit. That's kind of how I saw it. Want a way to track your pet's overall health and wellness? FitBark is one of the options for helping your dog stay healthy. FitBark monitors your dog's everyday activity and sleep and turns it into a deep, actionable health insight. It's identical to what we have as a Fitbit or any other tracking device, but this one goes on your actual dog. I love that because a lot of people are conscientious about their health and they actually want to be conscientious about their pet. And it gives an opportunity to kind of, in a sense, combine both their healthy workout regimens together. Yeah? All right. Next one is something called the Pet Cube Play. This one I've been noticing, it's again one of those interactive devices that you're able to interact with your pet through an app. The Pet Cube Play makes it easy to watch your pet and play with them when you're not home. The camera has, and I love how everybody is so worried about 1080p or 4K. This one's in 1080p HD. It has night vision, so you can really enjoy it when you're, let's just say you're one of those people that actually travel a lot for work. You have a cat, you want to, play with your cat when you're, you know what, I have a childish partner over here. No. Here, when you're out of town, you can play with your cat. I am going to stop right there. I know after I say things that they're funny, and I'm just gonna, move on. But it actually has a laser to play with your pet, and it's Bluetooth connectivity. So I think that's pretty cool. You can actually, play with the laser, watch your cat run into things, and I like that. No? Do you want to actually weigh in on that? You're totally cool? Okay, I'll just carry this one. And the last one. Now, of course, we have plenty of different things out there. Now, I've seen pooch selfie all over the place. And, we have very little, room to put people into spots sometimes. I keep saying I'm going to contact Pooch Selfie and actually, have them on the podcast. So this is one. Pooch Selfie, while this item itself isn't tech, which, it is and it's not.
It's still an invention.
It's still it's still pet tech. It's designed to help us techie dog parents. For those of us who love to take selfies with our pets, it's not just gotten easier than ever. With the Pooch Selfie, you can take advantage of your dog's love for tennis balls to get the perfect photo. Simply attach the device to your photo, your photo device. No, it says photo device, which would be phone, and snap away. I've seen it a million times. I keep saying, okay, it's on my list of people I'm going to have on here. And we've talked about this, you and I, off podcast recording.
I just...
Go on, make fun of me.
No. I like the product, and the person who does it is a genius. Absolute genius. My problem is, I go on Facebook, and I'm looking through my Akita pages, and every time you see this chick trying to look super cute with her big Akita, and she's doing this duck face, or that little smush,
Pug face.
They pucker their lips out.
The pug face.
They think it looks cute, but it's just showing all the wrinkles above her lip. It's horrible, right? I'm like, I'm sorry, nobody wants to see your lips, protruding out, like, anywho. And then they're trying to be all super duper adorable and take a picture with their dog. And they're just using it for another excuse to take a picture with their lips puckered out. Like they're going to do something with those lips when you know damn well that they're prudish. Anywho.
You are on one big rant alert today. I'm kind of entertained. Usually I'm the one that's on a rant, but today you are ranting. It's great. Great that it's not me. So those are a few ideas. I'm still one of those people that continuously say, if for all of you who want to actually do something to help animals that are in need, you can always donate. There's great organizations out there.
Us.
One that comes to mind is Dog is my co-pilot.
Yes.
I love what Peter Rourke does. You can easily give a donation. I mean, he has different things that he gives when you give donations. That is one person that I really highly support. ASPCA is another great one. Or, you know what? What? Did I say
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm waiting for it.
I'm sorry.
Ace of Hearts.
Thank you. Ace of Hearts is another amazing foundation in Los Angeles, California. That's the Carrie Whitman Foundation that she has started. She started 10 plus years ago. You heard the episode.
And dogs are so overly populated out there. It's terrible.
So definitely these are just a small amount of different ideas for you. Or you know what? Maybe next year you actually want to get out there, rescue, foster, whatever. But
it's an amazing feeling just being able to go out and help one animal. You don't have to take on the world. You don't have to take on every single dog in your area or every cat.
Wait. We take on every dog and cat in our area.
But we have a massive support system to do that too. So even if it's just going out and sponsoring one animal at the shelter for food or spay and neuter or something, it is just an amazing feeling.
Yep.
And by getting one animal spayed or neutered, you're stopping thousands from being born.
Very true. And these are just a couple ideas. And again, this is an inspirational type podcast.
If you can't, go out and buy stuff to donate your time.
That's it.
And come up with fundraisers.
Mm-hmm.
If you really can't do much but plan and figure things out, sometimes just a brain power can move mountains.
It really can. Just one voice can actually make such a difference.
Because if I had somebody that said, okay, well, I have an idea for this fundraiser, I'll spearhead it. I'll be like, look, you got my support. Go ahead and do it. Let me know what you need. But I got a lot of stuff on my plate, too.
Actually, that does sound like something that happens quite often, though. Yeah. That is something that happens.
And it's like, hey, you know what? Fantastic. Let me know what I can do to support you. But if you're going to spearhead it, great. So get out there, spearhead one fundraiser.
And you do it for your dog or your cat or both, in name of them.
And raise your children to respect animals. That's another thing, is making sure the children know.
It's for the children!
Let the kids know that the animals are important to us, and how we treat them will shape who they are when they're adults.
Yep, agreed. Well, by that sound, Claire has turned on the applause sign, so that means that this episode is over. Again, we'd like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, Happy Chrismukkah, whatever it is, happy holidays to all of you, and to all a good night. Have a petastic week.
I'm Sarah Green. Ditto to what Chris said.
That is really, really lazy. I love it. I wish I would have done the same. Ditto. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.
And now the show is over now.